On this episode of Survive and Thrive 8791, I welcome Felicia Raye Diny to the Buck and Honey's remote studios. Raye Diny, a survivor turned advocate, is helping women rebuild their lives after domestic abuse. Through her nonprofit, Felicia's Donation Closet, Raye Diny has helped hundreds of women and children find safety, stability, and hope. Her journey of healing reminds us that no matter how dark life gets, there's always a way forward. This will be a good one. Here we go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. What is up wherever you are, whatever you are doing? I hope you're having a great day. Welcome to another episode of Survive and Thrive 8791. I'm your host, Coach Decora. We are in the Buck and Honey's remote studios on the east side of our great capital city of Madison, Wisconsin. You can listen to the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, and YouTube at Survive and Thrive 8791. You can follow the podcast and get access to previous episodes on Facebook at Survive and Thrive 8791. The podcast. Don't forget to hit that follow or subscribe button wherever you listen to the show. Leave me a comment if you like what you heard, if there's a topic or you know a guest who would love to share their story. Email me at tdecora@gmail.com. Glad you could join us. Our mission is to share stories and conversations that make you cry, laugh, and think. Stimulating emotions, creating laughter, and inspiring the mind. A new episode will air on Monday and Thursday morning featuring a wide range of guests. The podcast will touch on many subjects such as, but not limited to, grief, loss of a loved one, recovery, professional setback, mental illness, success despite challenges, etc. Our guests will share how they learn to survive and thrive. A website reminder before I introduce our esteemed guest over to my left, if you're looking and can see, she would probably be over to your right. I'd like to highlight our website, surviveandthrive8791.com. You can see what we are up to, what we are doing at Survive and Thrive 8791, and the events we are hosting. If you're a business or an advocate for mental health and recovery, we invite you to partner with us through sponsorship opportunities. Please contact us at surviveandthrive8791 at gmail.com. This is our guest and episode intro. According to the internet, and the internet is always right, correct, Felicia?
Yes.
Ooh, yes, with the eyebrow working, yes. Well, in my house, and it might be the way it is in your house, but in my house, I don't need the internet. I don't need Alexa. I don't need Siri. I don't need anything. I got my wife, Sarah, and she's always right.
That's probably why I said yes.
Yes. According to an AI, artificial intelligence overview, approximately 1 in 4 women in the United States will experience physical violence by an intimate partner in their lifetime, and nearly half will experience some form of psychological aggression. While precise numbers for toxic or unhealthy relationships are not available, these statistics highlight the prevalence of intimate partner violence and abuse, which are key components of such dynamics. Today, I welcome Felicia Raye Diny to the Buck and Honey's remote studios. Felicia grew up in Stoughton, Wisconsin, and attended Stoughton High School and is a Viking. After high school, she would take her talents to Edgewood College back then, now is Edgewood University, and join the women's tennis team. Felicia would leave Edgewood and start a professional career that has seen her move from coast to coast before landing back in the Madison area. Today, I'm so glad you could join us. Felicia Raye Diny, what is up?
Thank you for having me.
I get 100% laughs when I go, what is up?
You know what it reminds me of? Scary movie where they're like, what's up?
What's up? Scary. Yes, there used to be that, I think it was a Budweiser or Bud Light commercial.
Yep,
that's
they did
what's
that.
up?
They did that too.
Yes, they did that too. So we are shooting on the 5th of November here. How has the fall treated you so far? We just got through Halloween. Now we're heading into kind of the holiday season. How has the fall treated you so far?
Busy. I think the weather is beautiful though.
Beautiful, and we've got I can see the wind whipping back there and getting the leaves off the trees. And
it's still really, really warm though. It's really nice out.
And I heard that we might get some possible flurries this weekend.
Ugh.
And on your way over here, you got to experience, and I don't know how often you experience the Beltline, but the Beltline was atrocious this morning, I heard.
Yeah, they were doing some work.
Doing some work, or maybe a car crash. Hopefully not a car crash.
No, it wasn't a car crash. They were doing construction.
They were doing some construction. So you and I met at a Halloween business event. The coalition that I work for, Substance Prevention and Awareness Day Job, was at this event hosted by the Wanakee Chamber of Commerce, and you were there. And I know we're going to talk about your business ventures at the end, but do you get out and go and attend other events in the area?
Yes, absolutely.
What like where would we see you?
Oh, pretty much all over Dane County. Verona, Sun Prairie, Wanakee, Middleton, Madison.
Mainly arts and craft shows or
No,
farmers
also
markets?
farmers markets or chamber events or different happy hour where businesses connect and people can connect. Lots of places where like women's giving circles, stuff like that.
Okay, so this will be good because we're tantalizing the listener right now because she's got some great products, and she also has a nonprofit that is, she's doing great work with that. So you're going to have to hang on for the important stuff at the end, but we'll get a chance to go over that. So before we get to your story, I need to talk about our sponsor. Our sponsor, Buck and Honey's Restaurants, are a place that people can escape to. For me, it's a great escape from cooking dinner. Do you cook?
I like to say I like to cook, but my husband does all the cooking.
He does all the cooking. So yeah, very much like my house. I do most of the cooking, not all, but most of it. So when he cooks, do you have a favorite style or genre or cuisine that he prepares?
Oh, we have a smoker. So
you had me at smoked meats.
we do all different types of stuff. He just made last weekend, which is one of my favorite, is jalapeno stuffed bacon wrapped jalapeno poppers. But we have like the hamburger that he makes and then he smokes them and it's like so good.
I might have to army crawl around your backyard next time I see smoke and reach in there and grab some.
He makes some really good tomahawks.
Ooh. I have seen those. I have not purchased one, but I think before I leave planet Earth, I'm going to have to make myself a tomahawk steak.
Well, you'll have to come over.
Yes. I'm waiting for the invite. With their great food and drink menu, 5-star customer service, and a welcoming and vibrant atmosphere, people keep coming back with locations in Sun Prairie, Monona, Wanakee, and Mount Horeb, Wisconsin. Most communities in the Dane County area, which encompasses the Madison metropolitan area. Can't get to a Buck and Honey's within 10 to 15 minutes. And here's my drum roll. Got a very acoustically sound table. Have you been to Buck and Honey's?
Yes. My husband and I go quite often.
Quite often. So you're in the Madison area, you're more on that west side of Madison. You probably get to Wanakee. Have you been to?
Monona, we go quite often. Okay. The bartenders know us by first name.
Oh, do you have a seat? Do you walk in like, George?
Yeah.
Felicia?
Uh-huh. Yep, definitely. And when they walk in, they go, espresso martini.
Espresso martini.
That's what we always get first, unless it's like too late. Then I'm like, no, I can't. I would like to go to bed by a decent time. So then there was like the rosé, the Whispering Angel.
Ooh, then you gear it down a little bit with the Whispering Angel.
They know our drinks, and we go so much that they gave us a VIP card.
Ooh,
I don't know if that's a good thing or...
That is a good thing. Hopefully you sprang for some food. So the food now, what is your go-to meal?
They just changed their menu, which I think is super cute because it's like gold because it's their 20th year or
15th, I think.
15th?
Yes.
Okay. And they added some new things to it. So I like a lot of different things on it, though. It would be really hard to pick one thing.
I am a fan of the pizza, but I do like their... I think it's Brussels sprouts they have. I've had those, and I've been going with a little bit of salmon, trying to go a little more protein. But
they have like that combi.
Tommy's hot combi.
Yeah, yes, that's really good. And then they just brought back that Nashville hot chicken sandwich. That's really yummy.
On the podcast, our guests follow the format for sharing their story like this. In segment 1, we talk about what was it like, Felicia's history, what happened to get Felicia on the podcast. And in segment 2, we continue to talk about what happened and get into what it's like now. And we discussed Felicia's 5 suggestions for thriving. So you grew up in Stoughton, Wisconsin. What was life like growing up for you?
My parents divorced when I was around 9.
Okay.
But I had a great childhood. I lived with my dad and my stepmom. I saw my mom too, but I had a great life. Lots of friends. My dad always took us out to like dinners and we get dressed up and always play games. I had a lot of friends, all of them like because we lived right in the middle of town. It's not too far from, well,
Right
it's not an elementary school anymore. They think it's a daycare that they
Right
turn
in the heart of all the action.
Well, it's not too far from the high school, but so all the kids growing up, our house was like a revolving door, like all the neighborhood kids, like all my friends, like my house was like the hangout house.
And all of the other kids, all the kids knew exactly where the Pop-Tarts were and where the cookies were.
Am I saying that right? Swan's Man with the big freezer truck.
Schwann's Man. Yeah. The Schwann's Man. There you go.
My dad was always cooking that up for everybody.
Lots of chicken nuggets and lots of pizza rolls.
Yeah, and ice cream. And my dad also had a vending machine company, so we always had soda and candy.
Ooh, wow. No wonder you were the popular person in town.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us about your siblings. You had some siblings? Or you have some siblings, I should say.
Yeah. I'm going to call it's the modern family.
Modern family, okay. Nuclear family, maybe.
Yeah, so my mom had my sister with her previous husband, and then they separated and then met my father and then had me. So I have a half sister.
Okay.
But she's basically like my sister. Mm-hmm. But then she has a half sister, so they have the same dad.
Okay.
But I grew up knowing her too. So her and I always joke saying we're quarter sisters.
Quarter sisters. Yeah, when you sent that to me, I'm like, okay, she's going to have to explain. I get the half, but then you'll have to explain what the quarter. Now I get it.
Yeah, the quarter sisters. So it's funny.
Yeah. You have an amazing husband who you've already talked about his abilities to cook and smoke meat, and an equally amazing daughter. Tell us about them.
My husband's amazing.
Sounds like me.
I wouldn't be who I am, where I'm at in my life if it wasn't for him. He came into my life right when I needed him. And not only that, when I met him, he had an amazing daughter. So it's my stepdaughter, but I claim her as mine. I've noticed since she's been 2 and she's 10 now.
Ooh, she probably has no other person really.
Well,
than you and then her own mom, right?
Yeah. I grew up with a stepmom that I was extremely, extremely close with. And I always got to say, I'm like, I get 2 moms. I get my bonus mom and my real mom.
I've heard that term now used with a couple of guests on that they're the bonus mom or they had a bonus mom. So yeah. I'm going to start using that one.
Yeah, that's what I use. I use that too. So I got a bonus mom.
Absolutely.
And a mom.
Absolutely. You graduated from Stoughton High School and you're a Viking. What were some of your favorite memories from that time in your life? 14 to 18-year-old time frame. Tennis, we'll talk a little bit about, but what else conjures up memories?
I had a really good set of high school friends. We were all pretty close. We kind of separated though once college hit and, people getting married and having babies and all that stuff. But I had a really great core group of friends. I didn't really like school, even though I was like a straight A student. I hated it.
You're not the Lone Ranger on that one. I've had a couple of guests on here that when I ask them about if they're a proud Hornet, Badger, Eagle, they say, no, I'm not. I am, but I'm not because I didn't really like school.
Yeah.
And that I'm finding out there's probably maybe 25, 30% of people that just don't like school, but it's something that you had to do. But it also gave you an opportunity to play tennis. Talk about the tennis stuff.
So one of my girlfriends in high school, she was playing tennis. So my freshman year in high school, I didn't play, but my sophomore year, she introduced me to it and I fell in love with it. Plus it was really good for my back because I have scoliosis. So playing sports and working out is really, really good for that. And then I fell in love with it.
Twisting and turning a little bit maybe helped.
Yeah, well, you build muscle, like all up in your shoulders, your chest, your back, even core muscles. That's like what you need when you have scoliosis.
Were you more of a singles person or were you a doubles player?
I was better at singles than doubles. I remember I had to do a doubles in a tournament, and because of my scoliosis, something happened with my wrist, and I was having a hard time hanging on to the racket. So I had my coach tape my racket to my hand because for some reason, I don't know what happened. I must have pulled a muscle.
You got to do what you got to do.
But I was known for my serves. My serves were killer. But because didn't have the strength, I went to serve and I ended up hitting my partner in the back.
I was always wondering how often that happens.
I'll never forget it. Plus, it was like so embarrassing because like everyone started laughing. She just turned around and looked at me like,
if looks could kill, you would have been dead.
I'm like, I'm so sorry. So anyways, after that, my coach had to pull me because I couldn't even, it was like I couldn't even hold the racket. I pulled something in my back somehow and then I was done.
They needed to have the new and not new and updated, but they needed to have the pickleball thing where you got the rope on the end and put your hand through the.
I love
pickleball. And yeah, that's what you needed. But certainly they had to do the next best thing, which was tape the racket.
Yeah.
Tape the racket to your hand. After high school, you would take your talent to Edgewood College, back then is now Edgewood University. I just found that out this summer that they switched to university, and you would join the women's tennis team. You decided to leave school after a semester, though, to pursue life in the professional world. What caused you, or was it just kind of one of those things where I didn't like high school and I'm going to try college, and then you got there first semester and you're like, I don't like this?
I had almost a full ride to Edgewood because I got a scholarship for tennis and a bunch of other ones. And I was living in dorm and I was doing a double major plus playing tennis. I maybe was trying to shoot too much too fast, but it was just so overwhelming and I was so miserable. School is not my thing. And I'm really bad. I get really bad anxiety with tests, and I could be a straight A student. I could ace all the essays and do all that, but you put a test in front of me and I'll like fail it. And in college, that's what they do, is they test you on everything. And I had an opportunity to go to New York and I jumped on it at semester.
So we talked about this in the intro where we said you went from coast to coast, and we talked about this. You decided to go into that professional world, and you talked about the modeling, and then you went kind of ping pong back and forth before obviously settling here in the Madison area. Talk about some of your professional pursuits, starting with the modeling.
Yeah, I had a modeling agency here in Madison, and I had an opportunity I got picked up by an agency in New York. So, but they want you young. Mm-hmm. I would be way too old at my age now, but times are changing a little bit. But back then, they want 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
And you fit the bill.
Yeah. So I had an opportunity and I wanted to jump it. So I did. I got to go to Paris. I got to go to China, LA. It was pretty awesome.
So you ride that wave of the modeling, and then you mentioned going to LA.
Yeah.
So talk about the LA.
I followed a boy. To LA. I was ready to kind of get out of New York, though. New York is the concrete city. So,
fast-paced moving.
Coming from Wisconsin to New York, there's no trees. There's no fresh air. Like, there's people everywhere. It's very fast-paced, and people are not that Midwest nice. They're not that. I loved LA, though, too, because there's no winter. It's like perfect weather. People are a little bit more nicer.
The beach.
Exactly. But I also could model in LA, too. Mm-hmm. So I did that.
All right, so the modeling maybe slows down a little bit. What else? What was the next thing you moved from the modeling then to? What did you do after that?
So I followed another boy back to New York.
This is the ping pong thing. We go to New York, LA, back to New York.
But when I was in LA, I convinced my dad to move out to LA. So my dad was living out there, but then I went back to New York.
See you, Dad. Right?
He's still out there, though.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah. So he's been out there like 17, maybe 20 years.
You lost him.
I know. And then I end up back in Wisconsin. There's no way he's moving back here, though, because he hates winter.
And I've heard people do that because they get out there and they breathe a little bit different air and the seawater and the sea air. And I would like to do that and maybe spend some extended time out in California. Because our listeners want to hear the rest of your story and really what brought you to the podcast, I need to talk about our sponsor one more time. Buck and Honey's has been with the Survive and Thrive 8791 crew since the beginning, with 4 locations in the Madison area. One is always near. People ask why Buck and Honey's. Owner Tom Anderson places a high priority on the mental health of his employees. He has a mental health professional available for them should they need support. I don't know how many businesses go above and beyond their EAP, Employee Assistance Program, but Buck and Honey's does. Felicia Raye Diny would enjoy a successful professional life, going from coast to coast, following a boy. It was her personal life that wasn't always the greatest. You'll hear how she managed and how she wants to use her experiences to help other women who might experience what she has gone through. So stick around. You'll find out what happened. Please stay tuned. Don't change that channel. You're not going to want to miss segment 2 of Survive and Thrive 8791. We will be back.
If you, a loved one, or someone you know is experiencing a physical, mental, or emotional crisis, there is help and resources out there. Contact NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness Helpline, at 1-800-950-6264. This is a free service providing information, resource referrals, and support to people living with a mental illness, their family, providers, and the public. United Way 211 is available 24/7, 365 and offers free confidential assistance. They connect people with the local programs and services that can help. Dial 211. Emergency Crisis Services, dial 911. The Suicide Prevention Lifeline, dial 988. To connect via web, chat, visit suicidepreventionlifeline.org. Along with those numbers, there is help. You just need to say 3 words. I need help. Now, back to the show.
We are back. Welcome back to segment 2 of Survive and Thrive 8791. I'm your host, Coach Tim Decora. We are in the Buck and Honey's remote studios on the east side of our great capital city of Madison, Wisconsin. The podcast is where we feature guests who share their story in hopes of helping others who may be struggling with what life throws at them. Today, I'm glad to be joined in the Buck and Honey's remote studios by Felicia Raye Diny. She's here to share her story about how she was involved in an unhealthy relationship or relationships and how she managed to get through that time in her life. You mentioned you didn't have very healthy relationships until you met your amazing husband.
That's right.
That's right. Some examples of unhealthy relationships, and there are certainly more than what I'm going to talk about now, but I'll tack on the etc., are ones that might include physical and sexual violence, psychological aggression, dating violence, or intimate partner violence, etc. Can you give us some examples of some of the kinds of things that you personally experienced to kind of paint the picture a little bit of what you went through, and then, just kind of tell as much as you want, tell as little as you want. It's your story to tell, and this can give, because everybody's different. Every man and it's not just women that are involved in these kind of situations. There are also men that are involved in unhealthy / toxic relationships. So talk about some of the examples of the kinds of things you experienced.
It kind of does bring up, I do suffer from anxiety and PTSD. So talking about this stuff, I want to talk about it because I want to bring awareness to it. And I want other women and even men to know, it is okay. You are going to be safe. You just need to get out of the situation. One of the experiences that I had that once this happened, I immediately left because it got violent, it got physical. And I couldn't do it. Like, there's no coming back from that. It was my sister's birthday, and we were going out to dinner, and I asked this man, who was my boyfriend, if he wanted to come to dinner with us, and he said no. The entire time that I'm out to dinner with my niece and my nephew and my sister and my mom, he's texting me horrible, horrible things, like calling me, probably can't say this on here, but the see you next Tuesday word, the B word. I mean, very graphic and inappropriate things that I'm obviously not. I was getting so emotional, like I didn't want to ruin my sister's birthday. So I excused myself and I went to the bar and asked the bartender for a drink. And I was like in tears. And he was like, are you okay? Like, this one's on the house. Like, what's going on? And I just said, my boyfriend is saying all these horrible things to me. And like, I don't want to ruin my sister's birthday and this whole thing. And, you know, my mom came over and she's like, F him. Stop. Just don't let it bother you. Like, it's okay. And I'm like, well, I'm trying not to. But so in order to finish family dinner, you know, I'm like, all right, it's fine. Let's just do this. And my sister's like, are you okay? And I'm like, I don't want to ruin your birthday. And she's like, you're not going to. It's fine. And after dinner, my mom and I decided to stop at like a wine bar and have a drink. And my mom, she just said, I have a really bad feeling. I don't think you should go back home. And I said, well, it's my apartment. It's my home. I'm the one that pays for everything. I'm going home. Like, that's what I'm doing. I'm not going to go home. She wanted me to go to her house. And I'm like, absolutely not. I want to go home. So I walk in, and this person is not supposed to have any alcohol whatsoever. None. And I noticed there was 4 bottles empty, 4 bottles of wine that were completely empty, because I had a little wine fridge in my kitchen. And so I lived in a studio, but it was considered like one of those open ones. So like my bedroom was like in a room, but there's no door. And I walk in, it's like a kitchen, and then around the corner is like the living room. And he's laying there with his shirt off and a loaded gun sitting on his chest. And I immediately was like, what the hell are you doing? So I reach for the gun. I run around to my bedroom. I take the clip out. I threw it across there. And then I went like to get one out of the chamber, and 1 bullet came out of the chamber. And then I threw the gun into the closet because there's no doors, because they don't do doors in these type of studios. And he was chasing after me and attacked me on my bed. And I had to like knee him in the balls and like fight him off me. Like, I walked into the house. I didn't even take my purse off. Like, this happened within minutes. And I took off running out of my apartment. And I took the emergency stairs down. That's what the parking garage was. And I'm in tears. I'm frightened for my life. I've never been so scared in my entire life. And I'm running to my car, and I'm trying to get my keys out. And he's chasing after me. And he was fast. Fast. So I couldn't get my keys, and he was getting too close to me, and I ran out the emergency exit. And I had a childhood family friend that was my parents' friend. He lived about, I want to say, like 2 blocks. I mean, it seemed a lot further away, but it's in reality, it's not. But when you're scared and you're running from your life from somebody, it seemed like forever. And I bolted. I ran so fast to my parents' friend's house because I was so scared that if he got a hold of me, he was going to kill me that night. And I banged on that door, and like, I was so scared. And I'm just so happy that he answered the door, because I don't know. I never looked back. I didn't look, because after I was in the parking garage and when I saw him, once I got out that, all I knew was I needed to run. Run. I didn't look back. I didn't even know if he was still chasing me at that point. And you know what the sad part is like, I feel guilty telling this story, because part of, you know, when you're in it and someone's like physically doing things to you, like abusing or saying horrible things, like just because abuse doesn't just have to be physical. The emotional, mental abuse that someone can do can really have an effect on you. And it's like, I want to tell my story, and I want other women to hear this and just know, like, it's okay to tell your story. And at the same time, like, you still don't want to hurt that person. Like, I was in love with this person. I don't want anything bad to happen to him, but like, you feel guilty telling stories.
I think as I'm listening here, and the listeners are listening on their commute to work or during their workouts, I'm listening to you tell a story, and I could feel all of the emotions that you're going through. You're angry, you're scared, you're frightened, you're running. I mean, I'm running there right with you, and listening to this story. And some people that are listening right now, they want to find out, what did you do how did you get out of that? What are you doing now? They're listening, and they might be saying, well, mine was very similar.
Right.
But it was different, or that was a little tame than what I'm going through, because unfortunately, it's probably people are in way worse situations than you were, and they didn't get out.
Right.
And you are kind of here, and you want to be that voice for the people that don't have that voice. And then where can they turn to? I'm going to move on, because what you're doing now and how you're so happy with your husband and your daughter and some of the things you're doing, I would be remiss in not saying that if anybody is going through a similar experience or doesn't know how to get out, we're going to tag all of Felicia's information so that they can reach out to you. And
absolutely.
And if you don't have the answers, you know people who do.
There are a lot of resources, especially in Dane County area. There are a ton of resources.
So since the show has a mental health component to it, and I'm sitting here right next to you, and you're telling me that story, and I could see kind of some anxiety coming into you. Your voice inflections changed, and you were getting ramped up. And
I'm shaking really bad right now. So I don't know if you can see this, but anxiety and PTSD are real, folks.
Mm-hmm. They are real. But what I want you to do is, so you were experiencing some anxiety and probably some depression. What were some of the symptoms that you were going through, so that, hey, if somebody's in it and I'm going through these symptoms, what are they? What should I be looking for? And if I'm getting these things and these are happening, how should I handle this? So go ahead and talk about some of your symptoms.
Well, when I was in my past relationships, I was very depressed, anxiety, panic attacks. I mean, I was just miserable. I ended up having a panic attack, and it lasted 2 weeks. I couldn't work. I couldn't drive. I couldn't do anything. So they put me on antidepressants and clozapam to help. And because I was so miserable, I was drinking extremely heavy on all of that, which you're not supposed to be drinking. But I didn't really care, if I lived or died. That's kind of scary to say, but at that time, I didn't have, a life's purpose. I just felt like, when you're with somebody who's mentally abusing you and, not uplifting you, you start to believe all the hateful things that they say to you. And I'm not just talking one specific relationship. I'm talking about most of mine until I met my husband. They were not healthy. They say things and you start believing that's the truth. Oh my God, I am just this awful, shitty person. I'm a waste of space. I'm not intelligent. I'm not beautiful. You start nitpicking all these things because they nitpick at you, and then all of a sudden you think that you're the problem. It's your fault. You're the whole reason why this relationship is failing, because they don't take any responsibility for themselves. I just didn't care anymore. I just was well, whatever. And I would just take the pills and I would drink, and I had no empathy. I don't know if it was the medicine mixing with the drinking or all the above, but I had no empathy for like anybody, which is not me at all. I'm a very loving person. Like if you see me, I'm like, I give you hugs and, instead of a shake of a hand. And I just didn't care. And I was hanging out with my quarter sister and we went to happy hour and she looked at me. I'll never forget this. This is the one reason why I got off of everything. Because she said, you are too drugged up. You are not yourself. She goes, you need to call your doctor and cut it down or something because your personality is completely different. For her to say that, because I was like, what? What do you mean? And it was kind of a reality check for me. And that's when I decided right then and there, I need to get healthy. I need to cut this stuff down. I need to get out. I need to be safe, healthy, and loving myself again. And that's exactly what I did. I got off everything and I cut down my drinking. And that's when I started dating my husband. He was supportive of me if I wanted to still be on the antidepressants. He also was like, well, what can I do to help? I've never had a significant other. Ask me, how can I help you? I've never had a significant other. Ask for me, Felicia, like what do you need? And that was huge. I was always the caretaker. I was always taking care of everybody else. And I put myself last. I was never with a significant other that put me first.
Yeah, as you're talking, I'm trying to remember some of the things that you're touching on. Is the first one is that you are in relationships where your significant other is telling you repeatedly how bad you are, how negative things are because of you. And eventually you hear that enough times.
You start to believe it.
That you even start to believe it. And then you're in these unhealthy relationships and you go from, you had a couple, let's say, and you just start to believe that that's how it goes. And then that's what it's like until you meet somebody who is maybe the complete opposite. How can I support you?
Yeah.
How can I help you? I want to be there for you. And I want to put you first versus the other person
that just
first.
takes.
Well, I'm glad you were able to get out of some of the things you've experienced. The one thing I want to go back to is the depression and anxiety medication you were on. The world, at least the United States, seems to be, let's not go to counseling or therapy or work on stuff. Let's go the easy route and grab some medication because it's going to fix my anxiety, my depression, my PTSD, my trauma, whatever. And they start over-prescribing and then, oh yeah, you probably shouldn't drink with that, but there's never a huge emphasis, or there never was.
I mean, my therapist was really big on that. He told me all the time, but I'm sure there are other people that, it's Wisconsin, first of all, the drinking state. But I just knew I needed to get off of everything.
Let me ask you this. How do you feel now that you're not on as much medication as you were versus when you were taking several medications for your anxiety and depression and then having alcohol on top of that? Tell me which one's the best. I know the answer, but tell me which one makes you feel better.
I don't know. I just feel like I was just so medicated that it didn't matter. I mean, they all made you feel good. I mean, I didn't overtake my prescription. I did exactly what the doctor told me to do. But it was just, it definitely changed my personality. Now, I'm not saying that somebody shouldn't be on medication because it can be very, very beneficial for whoever. Every person's different, how they handle situations. But for me, I'm not a big medicine taker, and it was changing who I was. So I got off of everything. And now my husband and I enjoy our red wine, our rosé or our espresso martinis at Buck and Honey's. It's different now. I'm not drinking to get rid of my problems or hide my emotions. Like now it's having a romantic date with my husband and we're going to have wine.
You can feel now where some of the medication might have been numbing some of those feelings of negativity, where you're not feeling good, you're feeling anxious, some of those numb those feelings up in the brain. It's chemistry. Now that you don't have as much of that chemistry going on, you feel like you can enjoy things a little more.
Absolutely. I still suffer from PTSD and anxiety and panic attacks. They can still come on, but I know how to manage it. I also have a very good support system. I have friends and family that I'm very open and honest about, and I know how to get myself out of it, and my husband helps me out a lot with that too. So like, if I'm starting to feel panicky, I'll go to him and be like, I feel like I'm gonna have a panic attack. And then he'll be like, okay, let's ground ourselves or let's talk about it. Like what's causing this? And then we usually work it out. Or sometimes I end up still having panic attacks. I mean, it is what it is, but I don't hate myself because of it. It's just a part of who I am now because of trauma.
It is what it is. And the big thing that I've learned about my own experience with anxiety is knowing what the triggers are that cause my anxiety or panic attacks. And before they start to come on and I can start to feel them, I go to my toolbox or mental health strategies and I start to breathe. I start to ground myself. Where am I at? What day is it? What's the weather like? And start asking all those questions. And all of a sudden it starts to dissipate and it goes away. But I am who I am. And if I smell something, hear something, see something, it's going to trigger something in my brain. And I know how to alleviate it and kind of turn it off. We're going to go a little out of order because there was a question that I want to end on. But before you tell listeners what you're doing now, because it's really good stuff.
Thank you.
Let's go back in time. If you could share some advice with your younger self, maybe it was after that first relationship that wasn't the healthiest, or before you even got into these relationships, what would you tell your younger self?
That's a really great question. I believe everything happens for a reason, and there was a reason that I had to go through those experiences, because if I didn't, then I wouldn't be where I'm at today and started some things which we'll talk about later. What I would say to my younger self is that just keep loving yourself, because it's not going to be like this forever. Something my dad always says, like, this too shall pass. And I think telling my younger 20-year-old self, like, it's going to be okay. You just keep loving yourself and your life is going to be beautiful.
I also thought of this, and it might not be something that the listeners are thinking, or maybe even you, but you kind of said it. You had to go through those things, and now the work you're doing is really powerful work for people who need the help, like your younger self. But also at the same time, this might be a little weird, but those unhealthy relationships, you liked all of those people that you were with. Otherwise you wouldn't have.
Even to this day, like, I still love all of them. I fell in love with all of them. Unfortunately, I don't know if you want to say just because they were young, that's not necessarily true, but you never stop loving somebody when you have a connection like that.
Yeah, I think that's important.
Like, I don't wish anything bad to any of them. I wish them all well. I want them healthy. I hope that they can find love themselves, find another partner, and have a happy life. That's ultimately, I would want that for anybody.
Such good stuff. Tell our listeners what Felicia Raye Diny is doing now, because this is that everybody's been waiting. If you tuned in to find out what she's doing, or we gave you that little trailer earlier, or that little snippet, and I've been praising you for what you're doing. Talk about it.
Well, I'm a founder of a nonprofit, and it's called Felicia's Donation Closet. And what we do is we fully furnish abused women and children's homes when they move out of homelessness. So we started this about 5 years ago. Kind of all started when I moved in with my husband. We had extra furniture. I didn't want to give this couch to, a resale store where they can make money off of it. I really wanted it to go to a needy family. And I called around to a bunch of women's shelters, and I finally connected with one. And I'm like, hey, I have this beautiful couch, and do you guys need it for your shelter? Do you guys have a family? And they just said, yeah, we have a mom that just moved out. I'm like, oh, okay. And they're like, well, she has nothing. She has 3 kids. They're all sleeping on the floor. One of her kids are autistic. And I was like, okay. So I put out a post on Facebook, and I got around 175 comments of friends and family that donated gift cards, and we got a kitchen table, we got TVs, and it was around Christmas time. And the little boy, all he wanted was an American Girl doll for Christmas. I don't remember how, but I got connected with American Girl doll, and I got 2 brand new American Girl dolls donated, one for him and one for his sister. Ryan, my husband, and I ended up showing up with the couch and the kitchen table and all this extra stuff and gift cards, and that was the first mom that we helped. She hugged me and bawled her eyes out for so long, and it was such a great thing. And Janelle, who's on my board now, was who I met about 5.5 years ago, and I was like, I'm very resourceful, so just call me if you have another family. I would love to help out and give back. Well, the next month she's calling me and she's like, got another mom.
And I get another couch.
And that's kind of how it started. We would rent our own moving truck with our own money, and I'd put out requests for things on Next Door Neighbor app, Facebook, Instagram, and I'd map out. The moves used to take 8 to 9 hours because you'd have to traffic and stop here and pick up a bed, stop here and pick up a couch, stop here and pick up a coffee table, a dining table, and then we would deliver it. And we started storing stuff in our garage, and then our garage got overfilled and we couldn't park in it. And so we got a storage unit, and then we got expanded into 2 storage units, and then we expanded into a warehouse, and then we got our own moving truck, and then we just moved into 2 warehouses. We have a panel van and a moving truck. Now moves. We help 2 to 3 families twice a month, so anywhere from 4 to 6 every month. And moves usually take 2 hours now because I have a whole team. It's actually super amazing. I'm so proud of everybody on my board and my team and just how much we get to help. We're at over 500 women and children since we started that we've helped, and that number continues to grow.
So some people are wondering, they got a pen in their hand right now, what is the website? Do you have a website where they go to get more information about donations, either the physical form, I've got 2 beds, or I got a couch or a table, or, when I got all that stuff, I don't have extra, but I want to give some money.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. Rent is not cheap, neither is insurance or gas and all that stuff. We're 100% volunteer based, so all money goes back to helping abused women and children. You can go to our website, which is www.feliciasdonationcloset.org. You can submit photos to donate furniture. You can donate monetary donations. We have a Show More Love Club, which is a monthly subscription that you can donate monetary donations. And all of our information's on there. You can meet the team, and you can see all of our events coming up. You
can maybe volunteer too.
Absolutely. We are always looking for volunteers. One thing that we are really, really needing is someone to help us with social media. Our lady is stepping down, so we need to find someone to help out with that. And of course, move days, like this Saturday, we are helping 2 families. So if you want to come volunteer.
We know where you can do that.
Yeah.
So what I'll do is try to put as much of your information in the promo before the podcast airs, so that if somebody wants to reach out to you to help with your nonprofit, to ask questions about relationships and how do I get out and what do I do and all of those things. Either you can answer them, or somebody else who can help them, because you're just one of the steps. You're almost like the end step where they leave a shelter and then now they're going to move into their own place, and you're helping them on the back end a little bit.
Yeah, so we're partnered with 11 different organizations throughout Dane County, and either it's a shelter or another organization. They help the families find the apartments, and then we come in. We're the last missing piece. Nobody does what we do in Dane County, because we bring everything, not just furniture. We do all kitchen and bath essentials. So pots, pans, silverware, cooking, small appliances like toasters and coffee makers. We bring towels, pillows, bedding. We do all.
So you definitely could always use more help, always use more funding, always use more volunteers.
Yeah. One of the housewarming gifts that I give the moms is a brand new toolkit, and we're running out. I did just give a speech about a week and a half ago, and these lovely women donated $500. I took that money and I bought 12 toolkits, but that's only going to hold us over for a couple of months before we're out again.
So yeah, definitely we'll get you more help, more volunteers. We'll do as much as we can. Another little venture you have is with some tallow, beef tallow. So let's talk about that, because that seems to be hitting the Instagram and TikTok and social media. Talk about the beef tallow briefly.
So I don't know why I thought this was a good idea, but I'm in it to win it now. But I started...
In it to win it.
In it to win it. I started another company called Glowing Generations, and it is beef tallow moisturizer. I use a local family farm that uses 100% grass-fed suet. I take that, I render it myself, I jar it myself, and part of the proceeds goes back to Felicia's donation closet. So not only are you helping your beautiful skin, it's great for lots of different stuff, but you're also supporting another local nonprofit that helps abused women and children. So woman-owned business with a women-owned founder of a nonprofit.
Yes, there you go. I wish I had that little button that would do that.
Yeah.
That sound,
Speaking of which, you actually purchased some tallow.
I did purchase some tallow, and I mentioned that I would try to use some for about a month, and we'll see how it goes. Because I have, again, because of a Instagram post from somebody in northern Wisconsin that said, you got to try this beef tallow. And how I know beef tallow is usually like food, but this is something that is natural, comes from a natural source, a cow and grass fed. There's a lot of medicinal things that it can do. And like you said, face and hands, and it's like a lotion, but it's not. It's similar, and it's got some good qualities to it.
It's great for if you have eczema, acne, cuts. However, if you have a big cut, I'd probably say get one. I have an unscented one just because the essential oil could probably burn that. But I have it on my face right now.
And she looks stunning, by the way.
Thank you.
This is where the subscribers, followers, and listeners take out the notebooks, pens, and pencils and jot some things down. Here are Felicia Raye Diny's 5 suggestions that have allowed her to survive and thrive after experiencing some unhealthy relationships. Here's what she shared, and I'm going to toss these in underhand softball style. Can you hit a softball? I know you can hit a tennis ball, but can you hit a softball?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't done that since middle school.
Okay, I'll try to hit the bat then. So I'm going to toss these in underhand softball style, and I'm going to ask you to hit these in 60 seconds or less, and I'll just say them to you. So here's what you shared. Number 1, make a safety plan. Know where to go and who to reach out when you need help. Go ahead and talk about that. 60 seconds or less.
If you need to get out of the situation, call 911 and get out.
Simple as that.
Yes, immediately. They're not going to change.
Okay. Number 2, reclaim your voice. You deserve to be heard and believed. Go ahead and hit that. 60 seconds or less.
I would say stick up for yourself. Don't tolerate anyone that doesn't treat you like a queen that you are. Stick up for yourself. That's what I started doing. I started to fight back.
Number 3, prioritize healing. Take care of your heart, body, and spirit. Go ahead and hit that.
Start working out, loving yourself. Something I do with my daughter, I started when she was like 3 years old. I had her look in the mirror and say a few lines. I love myself, I am beautiful, and I am intelligent. Say that every morning and you will have so much confidence the rest of the day.
That's part of that prioritizing your healing. Number 4, rebuild independence. Every small step towards stability is a victory. Go ahead and hit that.
Don't isolate yourself, because that's what an abuser will want you to. They want you to isolate yourself so that way you don't have friends or family. So having independence, having those relationships outside of that relationship is the best thing that you can do. Be independent and go out there, go experience things. If you want to go to a concert, go to a concert. Don't not go because this person is trying to say you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't go out for lunch, you can't go shopping. Go do what makes you happy.
And number 5, find purpose. Again, your story and strength can inspire others, and you already talked about some of the work you're doing. Go ahead and hit that.
Usually when you're stuck in this abusive, repetitive thing, you lose yourself and you forget what your passions are and what you love doing. If you sit down and meditate or even start journaling, writing down like what used to be your passions, what is your soul craving right now? What were you in love with before? And I think if you find that, even journaling it or even sitting there and it comes back to you, go do it. Go find your passion. Go find what made you live, what made your soul crave life.
And you definitely probably talked about how can I get involved in skincare, beef tallow? How can I help somebody who is leaving a shelter and going to a rental property with absolutely nothing? How can I help that person?
Absolutely.
So some of those 2 things must have appeared somewhere in those journals. Maybe you should go back in that journal and find out what else is in there, because what you're doing right now is amazing stuff.
Yeah.
And there's probably some other things, some other ideas in there tucked away that what you're doing now, like I said, can be doing with some other things. So
yeah.
Awesome stuff.
Absolutely.
What an episode. I'm so glad you could join the Survive and Thrive 8791 crew today. Your story and how you managed to work through unhealthy relationships is inspiring.
Thank you.
Your story reminds us all to have coping skills or mental health tools in the toolbox when a person is met with life's challenges. Despite that, you have survived and are thriving. Our call to action, Felicia Raye Diny just shared her story and how she had to make some tough decisions to get out of unhealthy relationships. She has endured and persevered. Here are Felicia Raye Diny's 5 suggestions that have allowed her to survive and thrive. Number 1, make a safety plan. Number 2, reclaim your voice. Number 3, prioritize healing. Number 4, rebuild independence. And number 5, find purpose. Again, final thoughts as we close another great episode of Survive and Thrive 8791. Are there any final thoughts, Felicia Raye Diny?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for letting me come on here and tell my story. I really want to thank my husband and my daughter for being 2 amazing, beautiful souls that we get to experience life together. I'm just really excited to see where Felicia's Donation Closet goes and Glowing Generations. I'm doing what I love, and I'm happy, and I'm healthy, and I'm just loving life right now.
You're loving life right now. And hopefully we can have you on in 5 years and ask, what's Felicia Raye doing now these days? And hopefully it's something like we've taken this across America.
I would be honored.
Because there's not just Madison, Wisconsin, and the surrounding area are not the only place that needs this kind of person and this kind of business. It's needed everywhere. Absolutely.
I would love to see Felicia's Donation Closet grow outside of Dane County. I would love to see it to hit Iowa, Minnesota, Michigan, Ohio. I mean, if it can keep growing like that, that would be wonderful.
And there's plenty of cows to get you some beef tallow. So if we
Absolutely.
can get that all over the country as well.
Glowing Generations, we can ship anywhere in the United States. So just keep that in mind.
Keep that in mind. On our next episode of Survive and Thrive 8791, we'll have another amazing guest in the Buck and Honey's remote studios who will share how they learn to survive and thrive. If you have a story to share or you know someone who does, please reach out to me at tdecora@gmail.com. Until next time, hang in there with whatever you happen to be going through, and with hard work, dedication, and determination, you can survive and thrive. Until next time, take care.